The 1980s changed R&B forever. It was the decade when soul music stopped being confined to one audience and became a global force. Suddenly, artists who had built their careers on black radio stations were dominating MTV, selling millions of records around the world, and turning deeply personal songs into international events. But here's the fascinating part. Some of the decade's biggest-selling R&B hits weren't necessarily the songs critics expected to endure. Some came from artists fighting to stay relevant. Some were career-defining breakthroughs. And some became so massive that they permanently changed the music business itself. Tonight, we're counting down the highest-selling R&B and soul singles of the 1980s. Not simply by chart positions, but by their cultural impact, global reach, and astonishing sales figures. These are the records that filled wedding receptions, house parties, roller rinks, family reunions, and late-night radio broadcasts across an entire generation. And by the time we reach number 1, we'll arrive at a song so successful, it became the blueprint for modern romantic duets. Let's get into it. Number 10. All Night Long, All Night. Lionel Richie, 1983. Before Lionel Richie became one of the most recognizable solo stars on Earth, he was already a proven hitmaker with the Commodores. But in 1983, he took a risk. Instead of delivering another traditional soul ballad, Richie blended R&B, pop, Caribbean rhythms, and international influences into something that felt completely universal. The result was All Night Long. What makes this song fascinating isn't simply that it reached number 1, it's that it felt impossible to escape. Whether you were attending a wedding reception in Chicago, a beach party in Miami, or a family cookout in Atlanta, this record was everywhere. And that's exactly why it sold. The song became the driving force behind Can't Slow Down, one of the most successful albums of the entire decade. What listeners connected with wasn't complexity, it was joy. Pure joy. At a time when much of pop music was becoming increasingly electronic and polished, Richie delivered something warm, communal, and welcoming. Even today, few songs capture the feeling of celebration quite like All Night Long. Its success proved something important. R&B could travel. Not just across America, across the world. Number 9. Sweet Love, Anita Baker, 1986. Some songs become hits because they're catchy. Others become classics because they're honest. Sweet Love belongs firmly in the second category. By 1986, Anita Baker had spent years trying to find her audience. Industry executives struggled to categorize her. She wasn't flashy, she wasn't trend-driven, and she wasn't interested in chasing pop formulas. Instead, she relied on something much more powerful: emotion. When Sweet Love arrived, listeners immediately recognized something different. Baker's voice didn't sound manufactured, it sounded lived in. Every note carried warmth, maturity, and vulnerability. While many artists were competing to sound bigger, louder, and more modern, Anita Baker moved in the opposite direction. She made intimacy feel revolutionary. The success of Sweet Love helped transform Rapture into a multi-million-selling album and established Baker as one of the defining voices of adult R&B. And decades later, that record remains a masterclass in emotional storytelling. Because great soul music isn't about perfection, it's about truth. Number 8. Let's hear it for the boy Deniece Williams, 1984. Sometimes timing is everything, and in 1984, nobody had better timing than Deniece Williams. When producers were assembling the soundtrack for Footloose, they already knew the film needed memorable songs. What they couldn't have predicted was that the soundtrack would become a cultural phenomenon. Let's Hear It for the Boy arrived at exactly the right moment. It was bright, optimistic, fun, and most importantly, it felt authentic. Unlike many love songs that focused on idealized romance, this one celebrated ordinary people. The imperfect boyfriend. The everyday hero. The guy who may not be smooth but still deserves appreciation. That message resonated everywhere. The song climbed to number 1 and became one of the defining feel-good records of the decade. Its success also highlighted an important shift happening in the music industry. Movie soundtracks were becoming commercial powerhouses, and few soundtrack songs connected with audiences more effectively than this one. More than 40 years later, it still sounds like summer. Number 7. Never Too Much Luther Vandross, 1981.
I still remember in the days when I was scared to touch.
Some artists spend years preparing for their breakthrough. Luther Vandross spent decades.
Long before he became a household name, Vandross was one of the most respected voices in music.
You must have known that I had feelings sleeping.
He sang background vocals, arranged records, worked behind the scenes, and quietly built a reputation among industry insiders.
At the top of my list 'cause I'm always thinking of you.
Then came Never Too Much. The title track wasn't just a hit, it was an introduction. Within minutes, listeners understood exactly who Luther Vandross was.
And I was broken-hearted, hung up the phone, can't be.
Sophisticated, romantic, smooth, confident. His approach stood apart from much of contemporary R&B.
I just don't wanna say
There was no need for gimmicks, no need for controversy. His voice carried everything. The song became a staple of weddings, anniversaries, and romantic playlists for generations. But its deeper significance lies elsewhere. Never Too Much helped define what adult contemporary R&B would become throughout the 1980s and beyond.
we've come a long way, and yet this is only the.
Its influence can still be heard in artists today, and for countless fans, it remains the gold standard of grown-up soul music. Number 6. Beat It, Michael Jackson, 1983. Some people may debate whether Beat It belongs in an R&B countdown, but that's precisely why it deserves its place. Because Beat It shattered boundaries. When Michael Jackson released Thriller, he wasn't interested in staying inside genre lines. He wanted to erase them. Beat It combined R&B rhythms, pop accessibility, and hard rock energy in a way the industry had rarely seen before. The inclusion of Eddie Van Halen's iconic guitar solo sent shockwaves through radio. Suddenly, audiences who rarely listened to R&B were buying a Michael Jackson record. And that's what made the song historic. It wasn't merely successful. It expanded the audience for Black artists worldwide. The song's anti-violence message gave it additional weight. Rather than glorifying confrontation, Jackson promoted walking away from conflict. That message resonated across demographic lines. Commercially, the results were staggering. But culturally, the impact was even larger. Beat It proved that R&B could absorb influences from anywhere and still remain unmistakably itself. Number 5. Sexual Healing, Marvin Gaye, 1982. Every great comeback story contains a moment when everything changes. For Marvin Gaye, that moment arrived in Belgium. Far removed from Motown and struggling through personal and financial turmoil, Gaye found himself questioning his future. Many believed his best years were behind him. Then, he released Sexual Healing. Almost overnight, the conversation changed. The record blended traditional soul with modern electronic production, creating a sound that felt both timeless and contemporary. More importantly, it reminded listeners why Marvin Gaye mattered. Few artists possessed his ability to make a song feel deeply personal. He wasn't performing, he was communicating. The intimacy of Sexual Healing became its greatest strength. Listeners heard vulnerability, longing, hope, connection, and they responded by making it one of the biggest selling R&B records of the decade. Tragically, Gaye would not live long enough to fully witness the song's enduring legacy. Yet that legacy continues. Because Sexual Healing wasn't simply a comeback hit, it was a final masterpiece. Number 4. I Just Called to Say I Love You, Stevie Wonder, 1984. Complexity is often celebrated in music, but simplicity can be just as powerful. Few songs demonstrate that truth better than I Just Called to Say I Love You. By 1984, Stevie Wonder had already secured his place among music's greatest artists. He had nothing left to prove. Yet somehow, the biggest single of his career emerged from a relatively modest film soundtrack. The song's brilliance lies in its directness. No elaborate poetry, no complicated metaphors, just a straightforward expression of love. And perhaps that's exactly why it connected with millions.
In fact, he's just another.
At a time when production techniques were becoming increasingly sophisticated, Stevie stripped everything down to the emotional core. The result was a global phenomenon. Number 1 in country after country, an Academy Award winner, and one of Motown's most successful international singles. Its message remains timeless. Sometimes the hardest thing in the world is also the simplest. Telling someone how you feel. Number 3, When Doves Cry, Prince, 1984. Genius often sounds strange at first. And in 1984, few records sounded stranger or more brilliant than When Doves Cry. Prince was already a star, but this song elevated him into another category entirely. The production broke conventional rules. Most famously, Prince removed the bass line. For many musicians, that decision would have been unthinkable. For Prince, it became a defining artistic statement. The absence created tension, space, mystery. Everything about the song felt unconventional. The lyrics explored family dysfunction, romantic conflict, and emotional uncertainty, themes that many pop songs avoided. Prince didn't offer easy answers. He invited listeners into his confusion, and audiences responded. When Doves Cry became the best-selling single of 1984 in America and helped transform Purple Rain into a cultural phenomenon. More than 40 years later, it still sounds ahead of its time, which may be the clearest sign of true innovation. Number 2. Billie Jean Michael Jackson, 1983. There are hit songs, there are blockbuster songs, and then there is Billie Jean, the record that changed everything. Before Billie Jean, MTV had limited exposure for Black artists. After Billie Jean, that became impossible. Michael Jackson's unforgettable music video forced the industry to evolve. The song itself was equally groundbreaking. Built around one of the most recognizable bass lines in history, Billie Jean created an atmosphere unlike anything on radio. Dark. Suspenseful. Hypnotic. Every element worked together. The vocals, the groove, the storytelling, the tension. Then came Motown 25, the moonwalk. One performance, one moment, and popular culture changed forever. Millions watched. Millions tried to imitate it. And Michael Jackson's transformation from superstar to global icon became complete. Billie Jean wasn't simply selling records, it was reshaping entertainment itself. Which brings us to the biggest selling R&B single of the entire decade. Number 1. Endless Love, Diana Ross and Lionel Richie, 1981. The greatest success stories often begin with uncertainty, and Endless Love nearly didn't happen. Originally conceived as something entirely different, the song evolved through last-minute changes, scheduling conflicts, and enormous pressure. Yet somehow, everything aligned. Diana Ross brought elegance. Lionel Richie brought sincerity. Together, they created magic. I can't resist your charm. The song dominated radio throughout 1981 and became one of the most successful duets ever recorded. But statistics only tell part of the story. The real reason Endless Love endured is emotional. No one else would. It captured a feeling that every generation understands. The desire for permanence, for devotion, for a love that outlasts circumstances. That's why it became a wedding standard, a prom favorite, a slow dance classic, and ultimately, the defining romantic duet of its era. Even now, decades later, listeners continue discovering it for the first time. Because some songs don't belong to a single decade. They belong to everyone. Looking back, what makes these records remarkable isn't simply the number of copies they sold. It's what they represent. Each song marks a moment when R&B expanded beyond its traditional boundaries and reached new audiences around the world. These artists didn't just create hits, they created memories. And while streaming numbers dominate today's music business, there's something incredible about remembering an era when millions of people physically walked into record stores, bought a single, took it home, and played it until the grooves wore out. Now we want to hear from you. Which of these songs deserves to be number one? And which iconic 1980s R&B hit do you think should have made the list? Drop your picks in the comments below. If you enjoyed this journey through music history, subscribe to The Groove Files, turn on notifications, and join us for more deep dives into the artists, songs, and stories that shaped the soundtrack of our lives. Until next time, keep the groove alive.